You know what's funny, sir? You know, in the 2017 cycle, when like I wasn't here, maybe you weren't here either, but do you know back then people didn't understand supply demand in crypto? So people didn't understand that if a team has a lot of supply, they thought they could pump it because I'm not joking. They couldn't tell the difference between like if a team says, "Oh, we've got $50 million in our treasury," it was just the shitcoin of the token. So people thought, "Oh, they got $50 million to spend. We're gonna pump." No, it was just the token. But people were so new to crypto and investing that's why everything did like 100x. It was so new back then. That's how low information the average person had back in 2017 cycle. But now everyone knows, hey, what's in your treasury? Oh, tokens that you printed, good, you're going to dump them. You don't have a treasury. You know what I mean? We all know that. Now, man, that's so easy back then. But hey, right now, we're still early. Why? People in crypto still think you need utility for a coin to hold a bid. You don't need shit, dude. And by the way, utility gets stolen from each token anyway and community because it's all open source. You need believers. But people haven't figured that out yet. They'll figure that out in the next cycle, right? We're still early to that. People still think you need cash flow. You need to get like retailers in for like a consumable product. That's VC trash talk, dude. Look at Bitcoin. Look at Correlates. Look at XRP. Look at Doge. Zero cash flow products, right? Even look at Ethereum. It has a cash flow product. Dropped 89% against freaking ETH BTC. Pretty much. An abomination. So, you know what I mean? It's about the believers, man. And they still haven't figured it out because we are just digital networks that live on the internet. It's just book clubs, right? It's book clubs. It's football teams. And you got to offer people something to believe in because if you don't, then they just take their money and they go somewhere else. Look at like Solana trenches. They're just hopping from coin to coin every 15 minutes and they're just rinsing their money and they will like gladly bridge over to another chain if they have money. They don't give a shit about it. But look at Pulse Chain Community and Cardano and XRP. They don't want to go anywhere else. You see? So that's pretty much it. That's what we've learned. So we're still early to this concept. We still have enough informational edge compared to the average person. One day we won't though. That's why I've told everybody since 2022, you got to go all in, man. You got to go all in. Trust me. I've seen this before. The walls close in. People learn. They adapt. They get wiser. They get smarter. They do less leverage over time. The growth rate goes down. That's ultimately why we are still early. So yeah, friends, I wanted to share that with you as well. We're speaking about like, thinking about how early we are and informational edges and everything out here and how far we've come in crypto, but we still got a long way to go because what we'll find is that there's always, friends, there's always like a repeat of the past which comes in and surprises you. And that they appear in like ghost fractals. It's kind of amazing, right? And you only know this if you've learned from there. Now, you got to be careful not to mid-curve it because, you know, when you have if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Well, if you're skitzed and you think everything's a top and you're like ready to leave, then everything's going to look like it's the end of time's top signal. Let's play some PUBG music. I mean, who would have thought, right? Classic top signal. CNBC at the top of 2017. Crypto class. How to buy Cripple. XRP. And it was funny, friends. You know, 12 months later, so that was pretty much, I think, December 2017. 12 months later, they were making how to sell XRP, which I'll show it to you now. And like, it's such a fantastical tale. You would never believe that if I didn't show you. They literally making, this is the videos here. XRP was $2.57. So up here, they're saying how to buy XRP Ripple. They were calling it Ripple back then. That's how low information people had. They didn't even call it XRP. It said how to buy Ripple because they're mixing what they know, which is share world, shares and stocks, and they're mixing it with crypto. They don't understand it. They think it's like stocks. Like I even joke, friends, sometimes you'll see me creep in one of my titles just to play with everyone, have fun. What people search in YouTube, sometimes they give you recommendations. They go, hey, this is what people are searching for if you don't need inspiration for videos. And one of the things people search for still today, it's been like a year, is they go Ethereum stock prediction. They call it a stock. They got no idea what the hell these things are, man. Which means we're still not the earliest, but there's still enough meat on the bone. It's funny, right? XRP, how to buy it. And then literally all the way, I think, end of 2018 here, how to sell it. Bang, how to sell XRP. Now, there was a lot of pain, and then now you have it back up to $3, you know what I mean? But it's funny. It's funny how it all works, right? The ghost spirit fractal of the past. And remember, crypto friends, we've only got about 8% of the world in, right? But it's, you know, that's a lot. It's still a lot. It's about 1 billion people. Yeah, there's about 8 billion people in the world. Yeah, we've got about, 600 million. We're going to hit about 1 billion this year. Some people say we're going to get everybody in the world in. I hope we do. If you're curious, the stock market has 15% of the world. So it has about 1.2 billion people have access to the stock market. So when we get to that number, it's neck and neck. Okay, that's why this might be the last one, as in terms of like where you and I can sit around and there's enough money out there, but it'll never be the last cycle. But, you know, I mean, like, this is the thing, man, it's like, no one's special, right? We're all human, and humans, like, I'll just give you an example. You watch my UFO videos. We're crafty creatures. We can reverse engineer stuff, and we do all the time. You know, friends, a lot of you know, like, one of my things in my past, I knew a billionaire trader. He still wouldn't tell me his full name. He used aliases. When he spoke to me, I had to connect to a VPN. It was like a little wilder stuff. He would like, he just, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, he never told me anything about him. But he was like, this guy was a freak. This guy, I couldn't believe someone like he existed. I only spoke to him by voice. All I know he's from America. And just the way he looked at markets, I just couldn't believe it. Still to this day, out of respect, I don't want to teach people the things he's looking at and how he uses fractals and stuff. It just blew your mind. I go doing it bonds and interest rate stuff. And what he told me is the amount that got friends. You think I'm paranoid? What this guy would do? Firstly, he'd make every few months he'd make like a fake email, fake username. Like he had separate PCs. He wouldn't go to any other website. And friends, he's not even in crypto. This was TradFi stuff. Because what he said is he knows there are teams in the investment banks. They have like just scouting teams. And they go out. What they do is they look at the order book and the transactions, and they try to find successful traders by the prints. So maybe they'll see somebody trading the German Bund, their 10-year bond, and they'll try to find, this guy clips 500. Now, you can't, it's not open chain, right? But they're trying to look for patterns of the clips, and what they'll do is they'll try to match it to the chart. And then they'll put a team out, they go, hey, reverse engineer what this guy's looking at. Yeah. And you might say, but Sammy, how do they know what that guy's looking at? Well, friends, the thing is, sometimes, right, I'll just show you, right, some edge, yeah? People will look at, for example, there'll be like the Bund chart, like tick, 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 up and down, up and down, up and down, and then there'll be something that goes up, bang, okay? And what they'll do is, okay, they'll find this guy, they're like, hey, why did he buy that? So what they'll do is, they'll then go and check out every other chart in the world. They go, hey, what chart moved up at this 15-minute period? What was pumping there? And they'll go look at, 30 charts, 30 more than that, probably like 100. They go, hey, which German bond, which is the Euribor, which American thing went up? What went up? Did the stock market dump? They look at literally everything, okay? They map it, and then they find out a correlation that guy's person's trading. So we actually find out trading and investing is quite simple. It's simple, but it's still hard. The things you have to do, right? Because it's not like this person's like going, oh, I believe we're going to go up now. It's not like that. They're following something. They're following a pattern, right? So that's what they end up doing. And right now, then they'll discover, oh, that guy is like watching the correlation between, say, the Japanese yen. And they'll find something like that. And then they'll mine out that strategy. And then this guy, what he doesn't know is he's being watched. And then eventually his strategy doesn't work anymore. So it's this constant PvP game out here. Now, in crypto, I'm blowing your minds here. That's what they do, friends, in this game, because you have billions and billions and billions of dollars and they're trying to look for the tiniest alpha in the edge. But in the land of cryptocurrency and lollipops and rainbow pegs and everything out here, we're still early, man. People don't do that in our spot altcoins. Now, they do this in trench stuff, in Solana trench stuff. They're PvPing. But they're all a bunch of retarded kids. They don't understand they're wasting their time. Okay, you don't have the edge, dude. The people who have the edge are supplying you the token. Okay? And in crypto, that's why no one really knows how it works. So what we're looking at in crypto, friends, is you and I are in chartsy, tick, 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 and eventually we're hoping to get the step function up. Okay? In the future, this is what happens, right? If we, friends, you gotta understand what our chart will look like was like this. Whoa! Okay, and we're like here, okay? What happens is this chart goes up, goes down, and we make a lot of noise, okay? Whatever coin you're in, it makes a lot of noise. And after it's blown apart, next bear market, people look back and they go, why'd that go up? Now, luckily for you and me, they still haven't figured it out in crypto. Now, here's the thing. There isn't a specific rhyme or reason. There's a new narrative, new story, new random things that appear. No one understands what it is, okay? But we know what it is. It's believers. believers hold the line. That's why I'm here giving you highest value content in crypto. Believers, they get the floor, okay? Believers, friends, the thing is, they have a megaphone, right? So in the next bear market, when this thing is going dead, okay? This believer is holding the line, right? And, you might look at Pulse Chain and go, hey, this is conferences. Pulse Chain, Maddie's conference. RH Max's conference. This is your friend Somi doing thousands of videos. This is Dr. Hexologist streaming. This is the golf tour. You understand? This is Pulse Chain ladies. Do you get that? They're stack. And then when the rest of the market's ready to go, this thing goes up and Uncle Bobby's your uncle, right? And then what people do is they look at who's winning over time. Now, why you and I are lucky? We don't have enough of the scum Wall Street trash here yet. But they're coming. They're vultures. Wintermute, DRW, they're all scum. If I see one out in public, friends, I'm going full spoonie on them. Full spoonie. They will mine out all your data points. So what they'll do is, friends, they make bots and models and stuff out here. They go, what was the formula for your coin to pump? They go, you had conferences? Okay, so they go, all right, we got to put conferences. They go, what did you have? You had Pulse Chain ladies? Sweet, let's get some chicks in. Oh, what did you do? You had a guy making videos. How many views did he get? Okay, cool. We'll just pay people to do videos. You see? And what they're doing, friends, they're making it harder and harder to uniquely stand out. And they dilute everyone. You get it? And they go, what else do you do? Do you get tattoos? Do you make memes? How many posts per day are you doing? So that's what they do. They mine all this out. They'll take stuff from the Pulse Chain community and Richard Hart, and they'll find, okay, what do they do? Let's get the real numbers. Okay, how many posts per day were they doing? Who were the biggest KOLs? So they'll put Somi and KDP and Hexologist. They go, okay, how many followers do they have? How many posts per day are they doing? They mine all this out. So then they go, we have zero value in whatever it is. These guys hit 100 billion market cap. What we got to do is we got to have, 40 people chatting per day. And so what they do is they're mining out the data. Now, if you're in Pulse Chain, for example, just give you an example. In Pulse Chain, you look at that and you're like, that's like killing the vibe and the spirit. Yeah, that's exactly, Habibi, Alibi friends, what happens. It dilutes everything away. Then it's harder and harder to stick out from the pack. And that's why everyone's growth rate goes down because there's a lot more trapdoors to choose from. You see now? These people, they're coming in. They're looking at Bitcoin. They're looking at, hey, why does Bitcoin go up? It's correlating to global M2. Do you know that now, friends? You see that? Bitcoin correlates to global M2. Yeah? See how they're all noticing that? What do you think bots are doing? Do you think they're sitting there going, I'm not going to look at free money. I'm going to go turn the other cheek. Wrong. They're going to now make models. They go, when global M2 goes up, this thing is correlating, okay? And they have models with the S&P 500, and they have that. And then they look at Ethereum. What's Ethereum correlating to? See, Bitcoin has 89% correlation to global M2. And Ethereum, friends, so Bitcoin's 89%. See, you don't know these numbers because you're not modeling them. But one day we'll have 10 companies hunting for yield, 10 big statistical quant nerds. And maybe they make an average model. And they'll notice, Ethereum is 40% correlation to the global M2. And it's 16% correlation to gold, 18%, and then it has these other exogenous factors that you and I aren't looking at. They might go off Twitter posts, social media engagement, every data point they can grab, and they'll mine it out. And you might say, but Somi, here's something to think about. Doesn't that kind of mean that it helps our bags? Because if let's say the things they're looking at, let's say the data is doing this, yeah? Doesn't that mean Ethereum's price will then do that over time if they're following it? Well, herein lies the problem, friends. Be careful what you wish for, because when this is done, as each cycle progresses and the growth rate is going down, Bitcoin used to grow at 190% per year, yeah? It actually started off at 400% per year. That's a 5x every year for 4 years in a row. 5x every year. Now Bitcoin's down to 67% per year. So it's been going down. Maybe the next one's only 40%, then 30, then 20, then it becomes a stock market, which is about 10, eventually long term. Right? So be careful what you wish for in this world. So you might say, oh, wow, Ethereum, you're going up. And Bitcoin too. Yay! Whee! Okay. Be careful what you wish for, because you know how we always compare each cycle, baby dolls? Well, in the future, they'll be looking at us cycle right now and call us a golden age. But golden age, it doesn't feel like a golden age. It feels like more like golden wrecked, right? Golden wrecked. But yeah, I promise you, what will happen in the future is we will overlay the future charts. And you will see Ethereum will do something like that. So this is the fundamental valuation of the line. But Ethereum will have these giant booms and busts like that. That's what it used to do, you know? But then with these new data, it's doing more like this green trash, okay? What that means is, okay, because there's much more competition in the future, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they won't go as highly overvalued as they used to, okay? So, you know, in early world, some guy turns 100,000 into a million, and then he spends 300,000 at the end just gambling on shit coins. That's like that psychological wealth. I'm just being crude here, okay? Yeah. In the future, though, he ain't getting his 10x. You know how he had 100K to a million? Yeah, in the future, it's more like 100K to 200K, right? You see? He never gets that explosive part up because the market participants, all of us, we learn. You know, now, friends, we learn what a scam is. We learn there isn't a $1,000 airdrop waiting for you. We learn not to send that fake account 10 Ethereum and it'll send you 1,000 back. We know they're all scams, okay? We know that when a token, an altcoin treasury, when it's in their own token, they can only dump. It's not real money. They just dump it, right? We know that stuff. So you're not enticed by those things as a new retailer to come in and start whacking market. Which means that when things get exciting, okay, maybe fair value's here in the future, friends. So right now, where people still blow through resistances, not as much as they used to. Maybe a 2017 cycle blowing of resistances here. Maybe our one's more like that. But you know, it's still eventually able to make money, right? But you're not going to get eventually in the future. It slows down over time. You're not going to get this explosive deviation from the mean, where like you know it becomes bigger and bigger. That's why, friends, getting in early trumps everything. You know, and another way to get in early, friends, see, you can't rewind time. But what you can do is you can say, well, I'm just going to hold longer than everybody else. Yeah, and you just let the compound interest work for you. That's another thing. But obviously no one wants to do that. That's what we do here on this channel. You get it? So we are in a golden age of crypto right now. You just don't know it yet, yeah? These people will come and mine out stuff, friend. They will come out. Yeah, in the future, you're going to see some like, you know, some shitty like Chinese village version of your friend Shomi. Your friend Shomi, right? And they will come out in the future, friends, because people will reverse engineer stuff. Now, what I'm telling you, it's already played out. Have you heard of Richard Hart? Have you heard of Bitcoin? Yes, you have. Richard Hart reverse engineered Bitcoin, the community, Satoshi, the halvening. You get it? He's reverse engineered it. He puts it in. Okay, doesn't give everyone the answers, builds for a future. Like it's there's things he's infusing some spirit stuff that people don't get yet. I get them though, yeah. But that's why we're early. It's one of one. Okay, it's really unique and rare. Yeah, I guarantee, friends, in the next 5 to 10 years, there'll be like 5 Richard Harts. They won't be Richard Hart, but they'll do his stuff. Where, you know, I'll just give you an example here. I'll just literally tell you right now, friends. One of Richard's genius moves. Because people are going to figure this out, okay? They're going to figure this out later because this is now round 2. And what I mean by that, okay, he gave people free HEX. He gave them free HEX. It goes down 98%, right? People literally sold their HEX for $9, their airdrop. I'm not joking. They literally sold for $9. Yeah, free money. And then after they were all out, he pumped the shit out of it and it became $5,000 airdrop at the top. Okay, he's the only man brave enough to do that. He's one of one. Some people think, friends, it's a scam, it's crazy, and like I know it feels like wow, but it's one of one, dude. It's unicorn. You've never seen anything like it before. We actually have Bitcoin. It's just Satoshi does it, but Satoshi didn't dump the coin and then pump it. You know what I mean? Richard Hart's really done one of one stuff. The more successful we get, it will invite all these competitions. Okay? And then you'll really wish you believed with everybody else, which you already do believe right now, but you see what's going to happen over time. your Justin Sons, yeah, your Brad Garlic Breath. I don't know who, friends, all these people on top, they will find a way to look at it and go, I want to take something from that. Yeah. P tokens are happening right now. They drop worthless. They dump to zero. Heard of P-Dye? Dump to zero, and they just get mysteriously pumped up. It's a Richard Hart thing, you know? No one believes you right now because you don't have enough examples. It's kind of funny. I even thought, should I even tell them? And I thought, nah, I know the game, bro. I wrote the book. People don't, friends. It's amazing humans, right? Like, they only believe you when you have the trophy in your hand. Yeah, that's when they believe you. If you don't have the trophy in the hand, they just see you as another person running the race. Yeah. And you don't blame them because everybody thinks they're going to win the race. So that's everything in a nutshell. Everything I've shown you and taught you. Yeah, it doesn't have to, it's the best part, friends. You don't have to keep doing this every time, bro. You just need one home run. One concentrated bet that you hit out of the park. You don't need to keep hitting home runs. Perfect example. Does somebody with $4 million of Bitcoin today, do they need to buy altcoins to do 20x? They could just do it. They could do it 2x every 5 years and they're fine. That's like a bit slower than the stock market. Pretty good. Do you see what I mean? So you can get there too, right? But that's not the hard part. That's not the hard part. That's the easy part. The easy part is buying the risk off stuff when you're diversified. Yeah. The hard part is what's the concentrated bet I have to take? You know, so I don't know, man. I mean, like, you know, P-Dye went to zero. So did HEX. Effectively is 99% down. It ain't so easy, is it? But these are the rare, unique moments where if you can grab them in real time and you can sniff them in real time, you really can see there's edge here. But everyone thinks you're crazy. What do you think is going to play out? I believe in you and we're going to make it. Like, subscribe, belly button and all. Catch you in the next one.